Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eISL powered by Coca-Cola with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nordwind Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and of course Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. And it's going to be an exciting day today, Azim. But first of all, tell me, how are you?
Very good. Still recovering from that mega day we had
Oh,
yesterday with the top four all decided, but still plenty to play for. Let's quickly take you through the tournament format if you're just tuning into the eISL for the first time. Of course, we're just coming to the end of the league stages. The real fun starts now with the finals. Of course, the top four teams have qualified, but in which order we still do not know. The finals will be played on the 14th, 19th, and the 20th of March. And of course, the top two winning team members will battle it out to represent India in FGS 2022 on the 21st.
yeah, a lot on the line for these players. Of course, our top four teams have been decided because of that mega day that you mentioned yesterday. So those four teams will be getting an extra incentive to play for now with the prize pool itself. They've guaranteed themselves a chunk of it, but to play for with respect to the fact that who picks up basically double amounts. One place you go up, your amount gets doubled, and that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, there's the nice MVP prize of 4 lakh rupees. Still, 3 or 4 players really battling it out. We've got Ankit Gupta and the two Chennai NFC boys leading the stakes over there. And they also do get that personalized NFT by our digital collectibles partner, Terra Virtua, which is something that we're looking forward to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That personalized NFT. Permanent reminder for yourself that you were the most valuable player of the eISL. Talking about valuable plays, yesterday, FC Goa and as well as Chennai FC will be. I'm sure they threw a party for Hyderabad FC after their win yesterday. Like, thank you so much for helping us secure our top four slot. And you can see now why. Because on the leaderboard, it has been guaranteed mathematically. Bengaluru FC, after yesterday's loss, will not be able to make it to the top four. So, SC East Bengal, Mumbai City FC, Chennai FC, and FC Goa will be our playoff teams.
Yeah, and of course, starting today off, we do have a pretty tasty encounter. It's Mumbai City FC going up against Jamshedpur. So Mumbai City FC, of course, still competing to try and win that top spot, the bragging rights, and also potentially avoiding Chennai FC in the semi-finals, which is something that I think both them and SC East Bengal would be wanting to do. Of course, FC Goa as well. Very very strong team, but slightly out of form compared to the teams around them. But that's just how it is. There's no free lunches once you reach the finals. I mean, you will have to play the best teams anyway.
It's exactly like you said it, Azim. There are no freebies. Once you get to that playoff stage, you're going to have to perform at every single point. But for now, even in the league stage, we have a couple of key positions to play for. Number one up for grabs that we get to see later. Right now, of course, Mumbai City FC trying to make that happen, while Jamshedpur still have a chance to try and make it to the best of the rest position, try and make it to that number 5 slot. So we'll see if they're able to at least end off the eISL league stage on a good note.
Yeah, of course, Jamshedpur FC will still want to finish up as high as they possibly can, currently sitting in 7th place. They could go as high as 5th, depending on other results and how they go. Of course, Bengaluru FC still have to play Mumbai City FC, which will be a tasty affair on, I think, the last day of the league stage. But it is Ashwin going up against Akash, Tikka against Arvind Mas, and of course, the co-op to follow. So, yeah, all very, very well-matched players. I think Jamshedpur FC throughout the tournament have not particularly had the rub of the green, particularly Akash. I think there were a couple of matches where they could have easily turned 1 point into 3 and could potentially then still have been in contention for the top 4, but just didn't quite happen for them in those crunch games. But will be exciting. It's always nice when you reach the end of the season when there's not that much at stake, because then the players will play with a lot of freedom. You can expect to see a lot more goals, a lot more skills and tricks being used, and well, we've seen Ashwin and Tikka really turn on the style, and we'll be hoping that Jamshedpur FC can do the same.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen really from Ashwin and Tekka a consistent flurry of performances. They've been extremely dominant in those performances as well. Although yesterday they did stumble a little bit and showed us a potential loophole that maybe Jamshedpur could exploit today. Now, similarly for Akash and Arvind, I feel like they were one of the few teams that looked like they would be the dark horses to make it to the top 4 in the initial stages of the eISL. But since then, they have fallen off a little bit. So now a chance at redemption where the shackles are freed off, the pressure isn't as much felt. They get to play their natural game.
Yeah, I think there was a point early on in the season where Jamshedpur FC was sitting right at the top of the table. But I think after the title update, a lot of players did struggle to adapt to the new meta. As we look at the head-to-head, Mumbai City FC, you can see clearly having a much better season, both in terms of goals scored and of course matches won over there. With a game less played than Jamshedpur FC, they'll be looking to end their season with the maximum of 44 points that is available to them, and of course topple SE's Bengal in the process. Been very, very consistent, Mumbai City FC. A little bit of a shaky start, you could say, but since the second half of the season, they've just been on an absolute rampage.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that rampage is what we're expecting from Mumbai City FC. Even in their last matchup, you could see Ashwin absolutely demolish Arvind. It was a close one between Akash and Tika, but again, in the co-op where Mumbai City FC have usually looked very strong, they were able to secure the win. And wouldn't be surprising if we see a similar tale today, where once again, it comes down to Jamshedpur FC to try and find level of form. They've got 2 matches left, I believe, in those 2 matches, just to try and remind themselves that, hey, they made it to the top 22 stage with being the top 22 best players, making it to the eISL itself. Now try to make it to that 5th or even 6th position so they can end it off on a strong note on that leaderboard. Once again, it's going to be Ashwin versus Akash, I believe.
Yeah, there you go. Very, very closely matched in terms of their skill levels, just about 50 points in it. And everyone's very cool, calm, relaxed. None of the nerves and the tension that we were seeing yesterday, because there were 3, I think, absolute epics lined up back to back. It almost feels sad that all those matches were there on the same day, because we could have spread that tension across 3 or 4 days maybe. And but no, we got a full dose of it yesterday. Like, my heart was pounding for most of the duration of all the matches that were on. It was particularly crazy, especially the result with Hyderabad FC stealing it right at the end, with all the drama of the disconnection and the restart, and Bengaluru FC getting their equalizer. And I mean, if they had not in that game decided to try and score the winner, we might still have been talking about that top 4 battle being on between them and FC Goa. But very evenly matched, Ashwin and Akash.
Yeah, very, very well matched, I think, both of these players. And I'm glad that we get to see them playing off, because, of course, last time around it was Ashwin versus Arvind. And, I mean, as a neutral spectator, I like to see the whole round robin of matches where every player gets to play against each other. So we'll have to see. Akash, last time around, he was able to get a draw against Tika. We'll have to see if he can shut down Ashwin, because recently Ashwin has looked quite dominant. Although, once again, last time, yesterday, when we saw FC Goa versus Mumbai City FC, despite the early lead that Ashwin took, we saw V Sharma bouncing back and showing us that, hey, Ashwin might look in a great run of form, but he's not unbeatable.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tika as well struggled a bit against Afnan. Actually, both players struggled in that match. It was a 0-0 draw at the end of it. But finally, it was Mumbai City FC who prevailed. Eventually, didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because FC Goa did manage to qualify due to the results of teams around them. Chennai and FC, of course, will have also been breathing a huge sigh of relief, because they went into that game, their final game, knowing that they would have to get at least a point. But all of that is done and dusted. We can focus on the matter at hand. It is, of course, Mumbai City FC in their away black kit, and Jamshedpur FC in their white kit at home. It seems that they've reversed the kits over here. It actually makes sense, because Mumbai City's home kit would have been blue. So probably just about makes sense to have done that. But there we go. Let's see if there's any new surprise team selections at any position. Doesn't look like it. I think everyone's just decided that those team of their cars just simply can't be beaten.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's what we expected, right? With the new changes coming out, with the expectations from these teams to adapt to those changes. The players who have gotten a huge boost in their run for the top 4, and we've seen, especially from teams like Mumbai City FC, that adaptation really pay off. We had one of those games a couple of matches ago where Tika just went in monster mode and demolished his opponent, I believe, scoring almost 11 goals or 10 goals it was throughout that set. 7 or 8 goals in the individual matchup itself. And in the interview with Ashwin claiming he could have scored more. So these players, they can just go full on ham. But from Akash today, I'm expecting a level-headed performance, really, in the sense that to try and keep Ashwin contained while playing his natural game, and he seems to be doing exactly that while he builds up this attack.
Yes, absolutely. And has the opportunity to find Hullet over there. Wonder if he'll go for the long-range shot. Decides not to now, with Eusebio in the box, barged off it by Ruben Diaz. And now coming in from the left flank with Mbappe is Ashwin. Of course, a player who's really transformed through the tournament, has adapted his style quite a lot. He was, of course, that guy who always wanted the shot on the strong foot, always wanted the perfect angle for the shot. But then I think has really grown and adapted himself a lot as the tournament has progressed. And I'm sure that well, all the top four now will be watching each other's matches even more closely, just trying to find those few key potential chinks in the armor that they can exploit. Because, I mean, once you go into a one-off knockout tournament, it just gets so nervy, so like it's all about the fine margins and the few things you've learned, and going for the long range shot over there. And they have a laugh amongst themselves as well. I think the long range shot has just become one of those just light moments where everyone has a laugh the moment it's attempted against them.
Yeah, and I think at this point, for both of these teams, it is going to just come down to making sure that they have a couple of laughs while they're at it. Mumbai City FC feeling quite comfortable that they've qualified. We talked to Ashwin yesterday. They still have a shot at getting number one, rather a guaranteed shot. If they win every single match they have so far, they're guaranteed that number one slot. So they will want to go for that. Specifically, I think Tikka will want to go for that, while Ashwin takes it match by match, game by game. On the other hand, for Akash and Jamshedpur FC, it's all about just getting the best results they can and having a good amount of fun while they're at it. Because, of course, this long journey of the eISL, the bromances they built up, the relationships they built up are all nearing an end with respect to the bio bubble, at least. They will, after a few weeks, no longer be able to live with each other. And as much as I'm sure the players have missed their family, they're bound to end up missing their friends too that they've spent so much time with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you spend 4 months with pretty much the same group of people, of course, there's a lot of strong bonds that are secured, and it's not just like although, hang on, it's Akash. What a brilliant goal over there! Marseille Roulette to get away from the defender, and bang, it goes into the top corner, just screaming past Van der Sar over there. Nothing the keeper could do, and it is an early lead for Akash. He'll be pumped about that. And now for Ashwin, needs to treat this as maybe an assignment to be like, okay, if this is what happens to me in the finals, how do I react?
And exactly, right? I think key test for Ashwin right here. If this ends up being the case, how does he react? How does he respond? How does he build up? As well as some key research. I'm sure that teams like SC East Bengal, Chennai and Goa are doing, understanding how Akash is able to find these loopholes. But to be honest, that goal itself was just a piece of individual skill. So Akash clearly showing that sometimes all you got to do is take matters into your own hands and show off your talent to make something happen, and does so in spectacular fashion. Now we'll see if he's able to set it up once again, because it is just Mumbai City FC moving forward, trying to find some space on the attack, have the opportunity to run it down to Eusebio, who's making a key run, but instead just setting it up with De Bruyne himself, and cleared out well, but the ball goes back in their own hands.
Yeah, it was interesting that the space really seemed to open up for KDB over there, and didn't quite work out. But of course, lots of bodies almost managed to get through it. Almost looked like the game decided that there was a very large hitbox around the defender's leg for the ball to rebound off. Because it didn't quite look like the defender was going to make it, but there you go. That's what you get when you have 99 defensive attributes on your cards. And now with Eusebio coming forward, he has CR7 on that flank as well. Elects not to use him. It's interesting that a lot of players have used CR7 down the flanks when he may be more useful as that centre forward. Particularly, we've seen Ankit Gupta use that spectacularly. The crosses in from the left wing with CR7 coming in from the opposite flank. Scored, I think, more headed goals than anybody in the tournament so far have SC East Bengal. They've really mixed it up. But and I think that's something that Mumbai City FC and all the others, Chennai and FC Goa, all these guys, they're gonna have to really mix it up and experiment a little bit in these coming days, the coming week. We see again another roulette from Akshat from Akash, and gets another corner.
A key corner picked up, and Akash will look to double his lead up, especially considering that this is that 45th minute corner. We've seen some miraculous things happen. Instead, just going to be headed out, blocked by Ruben Diaz, and for another corner. I think the 45th minute corner is a key opportunity for you to just go for a direct lob into the box, maybe aim for Gullit on that far post, and it seems like he's got his done for just that, but headed out immediately in a flying header to make sure that another chance is not established. Akash walking away with a 1-0 lead here in this first game.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how far out Akash brought his keeper to sort of try and block out that cross. So always is interesting to me to think that maybe you could go for an in-swinging corner straight into goal in those situations, because the keeper is just so far out. If you just manage to get it in at the near post, it might just creep in. You never know. But anyway, these guys are. I'm sure they, like, somebody or the other has tried it. You would expect maybe a cheeky fellow like Ankit to try and do that, and maybe we will see that at some point in the finals. I would absolutely love to see that, because you want to see as many different types of goals as you can in FIFA. I think over the last 4 months with casting on this, like, we've probably seen every sort of goal possible
But
that there is to see. Although, and we keep hoping for
yeah,
new things. We've seen players like Afnan try those rainbow kicks inside the box. We've seen a few Bolasi flicks as well from Ankit Gupta. So we want to see more of that stuff, and that's why I'm looking forward to our next match day, when we're going to see Mufu and playing with absolutely no tension and no shackles. It's going to be interesting to see how he approaches it with all his the Ronaldinho cards and the Maradona cards. It'll be fun to watch. And for the moment, it does look like Ashwin is struggling a little bit to break down Akash's defense. Seems very, very compact, sitting a little bit deep, so allowing Ashwin plenty of the ball, but he's not really able to do anything with it. And I do wonder if this is a case of the pressure being off, so that a little bit of intensity being lost from Ashwin, which is something that he's thrived on. But hang on, gets into the box, gets a little bit lucky with an inadvertent nutmeg, and gets the corner.
well, right now for Ashwin, he's not the one to go for those big lobs, but can instead set up Ronaldo down in the wing, making a lot of space for Ronaldo. Some key scoop set up. He's still not taking the shot, and does so in the, like, by the skin of his teeth, is able to get the shot across and the goal in. I'm curious to see in the replay if that shot actually deflected off of Van der Sar, or if Ronaldo just managed to smash it in top bins.
Oh yeah, he actually didn't go off the keeper at all. Just managed to get the timing perfect. Lovely little skill moves over there. A couple of scoop turns, a little bit of an elastico as well to get past two defenders. So that was very, very well done by Ashwin, showing that he still has that ability to get the job done in 1v1 situations. Sticka would be proud of that. Of course, the deadliest 1v1 player in the eISL for me. Just really, you put him in those situations where there's literally only one way through, and almost a way through for Ashwin over there. It will go out for a goal kick.
1-1 right now on the board. Ashwin with an early pullback on that lead that Akash first had taken into the first half. So Akash once again likely feeling the pressure to create those chances, while Ashwin, he just seems very calm and very composed. I mean, it's not the Ashwin we saw in the earlier stages. He really has evolved in that aspect. But hold on right now, because Akash has got a key attack on the edge of the line, is able to keep the ball, but surrounded by Hakimi and Ruben Diaz, just has nowhere to go. The ball taken away from him. Instead, it's Ashwin once again building up his attack. And on that point, I wanted to say, Azim, like, I feel like Ashwin has really evolved in terms of the mental strength that he has as a player from the initial stages of the eISL to now.
Yeah, definitely. Although I was thinking about the mental aspect as well. You do wonder whether Mumbai City FC have just qualified for the top four maybe too early, because they now do have 3 games left to play, which will pretty much have no intensity attached to them. And I do wonder if they would miss that intensity and that that big game feeling going into what will be a series of big games in the finals, and maybe that little bit of mental switch from playing relatively low pressure games to then suddenly being thrown into a match potentially against Chennai FC or FC Goa could be quite a challenge for them.
Absolutely. And I think, like you said, like, turning off in this point of the league stage, of course, it won't matter in the league stage, but we have to wonder if it will end up mattering in the playoffs run, where, building up, finding that last minute entry into the playoffs, finding ability for you to get a huge momentum boost can help you a lot. But since Mumbai City FC have to play 3 more matches before that, you have to wonder, will they get complacent? Will they turn off? And will that end up being an issue? Or will they just free up themselves, find some demolishing wins, and inherently build up their confidence even more? Right now, though, Ashwin seems to be trying to do exactly that. A nifty fake setup with a pass into Ronaldo on the edge of the box, but no space found just yet. But hey, for Ashwin, he's happy to just play it around till he gets an opportunity.
Well, was happy to play it around, but then gave that straight to Akash, who will try to counter now. 76 minutes on the clock, just about 15 minutes, including added time to go. And you can see it's been mostly possession for Mumbai City FC. Most of the passing's been done by Ashwin. But Akash, we know him. It just takes one moment, one little bit of magic, one turn away from the defender for him, and then he could be in. This time, getting Hakimi involved in the attack as well. Will go to pull it in the middle. Now, a couple of options for him to choose from. Goes to CR7. Will he look for R9 or go for the shot? He does look for the striker in the middle, when actually maybe just a short fake to move that defender away might have been the better option. But Akash there enjoying himself. I mean, you can see that there's so much more calm for Jamshedpur FC now than there was a couple of games ago, where it was all like nervy and eyes were wide and nails were being bitten. Now it's just chill, just chewing a bit of gum, enjoying. Bringing on a couple of players. When will we see, guys? Come on, when do we get to see Marouane Fellaini again? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. Marouane Fellaini, maybe an Emil Smith Rowe, maybe even a John Joe Shelby. But instead, we get Pele. Come on, guys.
Come on, we've seen too much of Pele over this tournament. I mean, I'm quite sure Pele will be counting all the goals that he has scored in the eISL to add to his personal IRL tally as well. So, and he's got quite a lot of goals now, considering how popular he was, particularly in the first half of the tournament. His icon card, of course, being upgraded as the eISL has gone on. It's been very interesting to see how the meta has evolved, not just with the title update, but also with all the new cards coming in. And Akash, they're trying to spam his way through using that Team of the Year CR7 card, which actually wasn't part of the original Team of the Year, but well, given the man's slight popularity on social media, I think there was a significant clamor for there to be a Team of the Year Ronaldo card as well. And of course, on all the fans, I'm sure would have been clamoring for it, as we do call them on our show. We refer to them as PR7s. But there you have it. It's crunch time now. 87 minutes on the clock. Is Ashwin going to bulldoze his way through? Big chance with Eusebio. Maserule off the angle of the crossbar. So unfortunate there. Will the ball fall to him? No, it will fall to Akash now to potentially go for that last attack. But will Ashwin allow him the space to do so? Yes, for the moment.
Oh my God, insanely close right there. That too towards such a at such a time that is so close to the 90th minute mark, but it just might end up meaning a sucker punch for Akash on the other side. But the scoop plays the ball right into Ruben Diaz's legs, and Ashwin will just settle for a draw right here, and so will Akash. A 1-1 draw was Akash's result against Tikka, and a 1-1 draw it will be his result against Ashwin in today's matchup as well. Now we go on to that second match and wonder if Arvind can find redemption for his loss in the previous matchup that he had against Ashwin, but today playing against Tikka instead. And it's easier said than done, man, because Tikka, I will say, yesterday, yes, he faced a lot of trouble. Afnan had a solid defense, but I feel like Tikka is the kind of guy, all he needs is one goal and then the floodgates just open up.
Yeah, absolutely. And but Arvind as well, he's put in a couple of really good performances in the tournament so far. Not been the high-flying, high-scoring player that we know that he can be. Generally has played a little bit within himself, has had a couple of big results, but consistently has generally been the guy who will get a 1-0 win or just to grind out a draw. Not a very high goal scorer in this tournament. So it remains to be seen now what will happen in game 2. Is it going to be Tikka absolutely skewering Arvind, for lack of a better word, because it's Tikka, or will we see the Arvind Mass effect? Which one is it going to be?
The Arvind Mass effect is, I think, what a lot of neutral fans want to see, but for Mumbai City FC and Tikka, the win is what they want right here. I think even a draw they will take, because they will be able to go on to the co-op with a lot of confidence. But right here, looking at the highlights itself, Akash, I do feel a little for him, because I feel like for most of the match he had control of the game, but that's where like Ashwin, he just never seems to dip down. Like we see a lot of players, for example, we've seen this for Adi Zima, who we saw yesterday. When he gets the goal scored against him, he's very different from as compared to when he scored that early goal. Whereas compared to Ashwin, I feel like he's more or less the same, early goal or no, or he gets this goal against him or no. And that's where I think his strength and his weakness also lies, because it does end up meaning he gets a lot of draws in those situations, like the 2-2-1 yesterday as well. So this one, man, Ashwin is going to be cursing his shots. This time it wasn't even a Van de Sar stopping his entry into the goal.
Yeah, I think Ashwin, a new enemy has appeared for Ashwin.
The crossbar.
But it's the crossbar. But yeah, 63% dominated the possession quite a lot. And on XG, Mumbai City FC would maybe have expected to try and get a 2-1 over there. But a reasonably fair result. But we'll head over to Ashwin and have a quick chat about it. And I believe he's waiting for us in the studio. And there he is, the man himself, Ashwin. Back again. Of course, we spoke to you yesterday about qualification into the top 4 being done. So, obviously, a draw today against a difficult opponent, but this is something that CA and me were discussing while casting the match. Do you feel that you've qualified with too many games to spare, because not very high intensity for the next 2 or 3 matches, and then suddenly it becomes super intense in the finals? So, what are your views about that?
Well, every game is a learning curve, so we keep on playing the games. Like 17 games we have qualified, it's pretty good. We have 3 more games to go, and right before we go into playoffs, we have a couple of games in hand, so that maybe we can practice more with how it goes on right in the studio also. So I think everything is a learning curve. You need to adapt and like play your game. So that's pretty much it.
You mentioned practice more. I'm curious. So in these next 3 matches, do we see any new cards coming out, new set pieces maybe, or are we saving strats for the playoffs to come? What is going to be the approach from Mumbai City?
Well, new cards depends on how they update the accounts, because like the prime moments are actually in packs. So we hope that we get the prime moments icon so that we can use them for the playoffs. But pretty much tactics wise and like set pieces and all, it's like pretty much the same. We don't have anything in mind. Maybe we can work out a few things for the upcoming games, but yeah, it's pretty much all the same tactics as we go on.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing, of course, the finals. And obviously, you're not going to give us an answer, but I'll ask you anyway. But which, out of Chennai and FC and FC Goa, which one would you prefer to get in the semifinals?
FC Goa.
Oh.
All right. Okay, we get an answer. Okay,
Let's
great.
go.
Brilliant.
Well,
Wonderful.
lovely game, Ashwin. It was a draw, so we'll of course hope that Tikka is able to pull off a result. Otherwise, you'll have to pull it off in the co-op. Either way, good luck for that co-op match.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Cheers.
All right, shots fired. Mumbai
Yeah.
City want FC Goa. All right, here we go. Well, I think I don't blame them because they beat them yesterday. So I think that would be fresh in the memory. But yeah, it's going to be very, very fascinating now to see. And yeah, the prime moments cards are in the game as well. They'll be looking to get their hands on a few of those. Maybe, I'm sure, with a week to go, the accounts will probably be updated and we'll get to see those new cards in the game as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it will be very, very interesting because, like Ashwin said, those new cards could mean a couple of things end up changing. Like, especially the way you want to play had changed drastically when we saw Ruben Diaz come out, when we saw the defensive line completely change with the Team of the Year cards. And I wonder with these prime moments if it ends up happening, and more importantly, do players show that change in these last few league stages, with the pro of that being that you get practice on the studio setup, or do you save that change to try and surprise your opponents in the playoffs?
Well, I've been having a look at the prime moments icon cards, and they are seriously scary because there is a 99 rated Pele, 97 rated Zidane, a 97 rated R9 available there. Further upgraded Eusebio. There's a Baggio, Puskas as well. Van Basten is in there. There's a Schweinsteiger as well. So lots of big cards available. But yeah, we don't have those cards available right now. Of course, we do have Tikka, who's going up against Arvind Mas. Tikka, of course, will have an internal competition with Arvind going on as well for the number of goals scored. They were dead level in the build-up to this game, and Ashwin has, of course, got that 1 goal, and Tikka will be looking to add to his tally as well.
Yep, and I think for Tikka, of course, It'll be an effort to try and push for the MVP top 4 mark at least, but he's nowhere close right now. He's just on that 33. But knowing Tika, man, knowing the fact that he can score over 10 goals in a single set, honestly, he could make it happen just here. It won't be easy against Arvind Master, I'll give it that.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, looking at, we may see a few goalkeeper changes happening as well, because it does look like there's going to be a 93 rated Schmeichel being added into the mix also. So that's going to be interesting. Also having a look, we have Raul Seedorf, Cannavaro might be one that comes in as well. So yeah, lots to look forward to once these new cards are hopefully made available to all the unlocked accounts. And I think one of the other things that the players are going to miss after the eISL ends, not just being in the bubble with all their mates, is not having access to unlocked accounts anymore. Just going to have to go back to playing with their regular base Messi. I mean, yuck, who wants that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want that. I will still take that. I think you will too, because you've got the Hakimi right back card. So, but we're peasants, compared to these unlocked accounts that the players have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been waiting. I think Messi is the one card that sort of completes my chemistry for the moment. If someone can send me a Team of the Year Messi, I would be very happy. Although I don't think you can trade cards, that's not how it works. But if someone can send me about 7 million FIFA coins, I would appreciate that.
+1. But hey, right now I think this matchup, hopefully we get something to appreciate. Tika on the attack. We talked about how if he gets that opening goal, floodgates will be opened up. So I think Arvind has got to really take a page out of Afnan's book and be extremely solid in that defensive last third of his, and make sure he doesn't leave any holes, doesn't let Tika get that initial boost of confidence. But almost Tika already making the space, and just that tiny interaction, the fact that he ball rolls and instantly just shoots, that's what I love about Tika. So instinctive by nature. Oh!
And
Case of point.
that is an absolute screamer again from Tika. Completely unexpected there. You thought that R9 was maybe too far out. Wasn't even a time. Didn't look like a time finish either. But just bang into the corner it goes.
And Ashwin be like, what do you wild? How do you hit this? Give me. मेरा तो सिर्फ क्रॉसबार लगता है और या फिर वैंडरसार को लगता है और कहीं जाता ही.
That's fair. Tika already making changes. Maybe he's got some surprises in store for us. And if we have a look at the replay of this goal, just casually waiting around, has the shot, not a time finish. I think he saw maybe the keeper was a bit off his line, and that's why he went for it, because the Van der Sar looked like he was outside the 6-yard box, and looked like it was a fairly routine just pass into the top corner. And I mean, if the regular 94 rated R9 is doing this kind of stuff, watch out when the 97 card arrives onto these guys' accounts. There you go. It's a very strange dive, because Van der Sar looked like he was diving forward, which is not accepted goalkeeping technique in most cases in the world. But well, there you go. Sometimes the game has its moments. And it's time for Arvind to give the ball straight to Tika. He's like, no, this one was not good enough. Show me one more. Let's see you do it again. And it does look like that's going to be a corner, is it? Yes, it is. Van der Sar very lazy over there, deciding that he's not in the mood to chase down the ball. And let's see what Tika has in store for us. That Joao Cancelo card also really, really effective. I think one of the most complete cards overall in the game. Because I do happen to have the UCL Cancelo card. But hang on, it's almost an opportunity for Tika over there. It doesn't quite work out. But yeah, on my PS5 account, I actually do have the 89 rated Champions League Cancelo, which I actually was in central midfield once the custom tactics are done, because he's just so effective. And I think that should be a foul. And will we see a direct free kick?
Would love to, or even a lob into the box, maybe try and find, I believe Bellingham is in the center of the box right now, but no, he's just gonna go for that 3-man setup, have it set up with Ronaldo, try to find a finesse, but pressured by Gullit. It will be none of that. The ball easily recovered by Arvind, but not so easily built up in that play. He's going to have to play it around back before he gets it to the midfield, but is able to do exactly that. Now the 1-2 set up with Mbappe, with him running down the wing, had the option to just lob it on forward, but he's going to take his time with it, go for a slow build up, make sure he doesn't, I was going to say give the ball away, but he gives the ball away.
Yeah, and Tika, again, you don't want to be giving him the ball in these situations. Again, trying to just nutmeg Marquinhos over there almost didn't quite work out. And of course, the set piece routine with the 3 players around the ball didn't work out as well. I'm sure Ashwin on the side would have been making notes, just scratching one off the notepad, saying, okay, we won't try that one again. Just go for the shot next time.
Yeah. Oh, this time Arvind just does decide to go for that lob down the right wing. He's got Mbappe set up in a really good spot. Could have gone a little more further, I think, before going for the pass, but elects to just go back, and continuous pressure by Tika. That 2-man press he's using very, very well to make sure that there are no easy channels for passes for Arvind, and because of that, he keeps getting caught out. Now, tackle gone wrong there will mean a free kick set up, and a chance for Tika to really move his line even further, increase that pressure, and show us what we expect, which is once Tika's got 1 goal, it's not that hard for him to get many more.
Yeah, Arvind will first and foremost, I think his aim will be to keep himself in the game, because we know that Tika can really get mega explosive if you allow him the space and time that, for instance, KT Dillon did the other day. And he just absolutely, I mean, I'm sure KT will have nightmares about him. Just even 10 years down the line, one day he's just going to wake up in a cold sweat and just see, oh my God, thank God Tika's not around here anymore. It was just one of those terrible, terrible days for the ATKMB boy over there. But now using that offside trap pretty aggressively as Tika, we have seen that it can go wrong quite easily if you go offside trap too early. We did see Dukkal do that and suffer at the hands of Saranch yesterday. But I think that was probably the most iconic and the most crazy match that we've seen in the eISL. And of course, all the replays of all the matches are available on whichever channel you're watching it. Just head into the eISL playlist and just go back and watch what is probably the most entertaining 3 matches that we've seen in the eISL, in Odisha FC versus Chennai FC. But this one, surely going for goal.
I certainly hope so. He's got the player set up exactly there. There is a player on the line, but never mind. There's no way he goes for the shot with Gullit, right?
No. You never know. I think he might just, he looks like he's going for the shot. He is going for the shot and off the angle of the goal. The curse of Ashwin strikes over there, and now Hullet. Two about Rule. Oh my goodness me. 1 Rule is never enough for Tika. You have to go twice. And there you go. It's Hullet having a pretty good sequence of play there. Free kick onto the angle of the post, getting the rebound back, 2 Rules into the corner. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, very well done. And I'm actually very curious as to why he chose Gullit for that particular move. I wonder if it's because of shot power. I think that's the only thing I can imagine Gullit having more than any of the high-profile players in the attack. Or maybe he just wanted to show off. He's like, I can do it with Gullit too.
Or maybe potentially the technique rating. That might have been a factor as well. Or composure. Lots of those things do matter over there. More so in management simulators than actual FIFA. But, good opportunity there for Arvind to get in behind, but didn't quite take it. And I think Arvind's season has sort of just fizzled out over the last 3 or 4 games. He looked very, very good throughout the beginning and the middle of the tournament. But then I think as the form dipped for Akash, it did for Arvind as well. He too was generally okay defensively, but when chasing the game for Arvind, it's been a bit of a challenge. He's 2 goals down. He's chasing this game. Let's hope for Jamshedpur FC's sake and from the neutral perspective that he can get at least a goal back early in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have to see if for Arvind, it's going to be a similar tale as it was when he faced Mumbai City previously, when he faced Ashwin, where he went down 5 goals, or if he's going to be able to bounce back in that second half, because Tika is looking very free. This first goal, absolutely unexpected. And I think it's exactly as you said it, Azim. I think he spotted that keeper off the line and instinctively knew that was the right decision to make, and that has been Tika's strength overall, and able to get that first goal. And then another beautiful set piece right here from Gullit. And I think you might have got it bang on with that one too, with that technique rating being that key factor. So I'm curious to see how Tika is able to give us more insight into all this if he ends up winning this match and we get him maybe for an interview now or after the co-op maybe.
Yeah, let's see. But now it is Arvind getting. Well, no, it's Tikka getting into the box. Arvind had the ball briefly and gave it up. But we do see no real changes from Arvind. Still playing the same 4-4-2 formation, trying to get forward. We may see him go to slight change, but yeah, it's just not quite happening for him in attack. And you can see over there the ball roll, no work. You go. I get Neymar instead. But there we go. This could be 3. Gets the time finish right, but clearly the direction all wrong because that shot's deflected horribly wide.
Yeah, nice. Hey, if it doesn't work with Pele, maybe it's time to bring on newer Brazilian wonder kid. Like maybe a Vinicius, maybe even a Neymar. I like to see some different cards, honestly. Though, besides them, maybe get me some Bukayo Saka's involved. Get me some Martin Odegaard's involved. I'm an Arsenal fan, guys. That's why I'm spending a lot of time with those.
Yeah. Would be interesting to see maybe even there was also an upgraded Coutinho card which was available. So haven't seen too much of that card. I'm sure I would have 5-star skills, but maybe not 5-star finishing. Would have a mean long shot on him for sure. But well, there you go. It's Bellingham and Hullet still holding fort in the midfield for Mumbai City FC. Very comfortable game this for Tikka. Never really been under the cosh. I don't really remember there being a shot of note from Arvind to really perturb Tikka's defense. And will he go now for that finesse shot? You bet he will. And bang, it goes into the top corner with Messi in that pocket on the right of the box. It's inevitable. If that shot is taken 9 or 10 times, it finds the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for every single one of these teams, it really is really cool for me getting to witness the way they seem to really changed and set themselves up for success throughout this tournament. But it doesn't seem like Arvind seems to have found that exact vein of form as well. So we'll see. Maybe he is able to at least get a consolation goal or two. Because at this point, like, I don't want to write it off because I know anything can happen, Azim, but we've seen this from Tikka before. Like, he's the kind of player, once he gets command of a match, it's very, very hard to get the ball out of his goal.
Yeah, and he's of course going to be chasing those MVP stakes now, sitting now on 36 goals and just about 6 or 7 goals off the lead over there. So he'll be looking to add to his tally because only the individual goals count. Oh, trying to lob his way through with CR7 over there. And he can have a bit of fun now. 3 goals up. You can mess around a little bit, try a few tricks that you wouldn't normally. Of course, I think a lot of these players are very respectful of their opponents as well. But this time, not enough respect being shown over there, and the defense, well, standing firm through the goalkeeper. You see Donnarumma brought out of there. Come on, just put it in at the near post. Let's see what happens. Far post it is, and ball lost. Yep, and it's going to be a counter-attack for Tikka. No real support, but he will try to switch that to the right now with Messi. Is it going to be another shot? I think that would just be rude at this point. Just score 3 long-range finesse shots. So Tikka taking his time, finds R9 in the box over there, works the angle. Oh my goodness me, Tikka is on fire.
I mean, surprise, surprise, I guess, because that first goal itself we should have started expecting this Tikka just going ham, able to pull off shot after shot. I think that's Ronaldo's hat trick as well, if I'm not mistaken. 69th minute goal to cap it off is just everything going right for Tikka. Is there anything else Tikka needs? Well, it's more goals right now because, as you said, he's persevering for that MVP slot. The individual goals are what matters. So he's going to have to get as many as he can from this matchup right here, right now. But to be honest, he's got plenty of matches to go. Can quite easily catch up, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, he's been given plenty of opportunities now by Arvind to keep going and adding to his tally. CR7 over there gets the better of Ruben Diaz. Lovely little back heel to find Messi. Surely not another finesse shot. This time with Hullet looking for Bellingham. Slides that into R9. Now with CR7. Works the shooting angle. Goes near post this time. But Arvind had it covered. And you can see Arvind's breaking a bit of a sweat now. I mean, he's really struggling. The floodgates have well and truly opened up for Tikka over here. and he's making full use of it.
Oh, absolutely. And at this point, things looking quite dire for Arvind. But I just want to see some sort of consolation for him, so he can go into the co-op thinking about a lot more, being a lot more motivated as compared to what he would be after, say, a 4-0, 5-0 loss. So now has an opportunity to do exactly that. Mbappe able to outpace Cancelo on that wing side, trying to make his move in, but a bit of hesitation there. Could have even lobbed the ball in. I think had Ronaldo in the box, but just not sure what he wants to do.
Yeah, and now couple of options for Tika to choose from. Decides to go back and settle his defense. Goes wide to Messi again. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a cross into the box? It is. Into CR7, but defended well by Arvind over there. No follow-up bodies coming into the box for Tika there. But of course the ball is won very, very high up the field. Tikka's really got himself into a groove here today. Struggled a bit against Afnan yesterday, but no such problems against Arvind. Goes for that shot. Maybe a short fake over there, a little scoop turn would probably have done the defender, but well, Arvind will be happy to just try and just keep the scoreline from becoming a cricket score at this point. It is 4-0. Could well be 5 or 6 if Tikka was really being as clinical as he's capable of. I'm sure we'll see Ashwin again saying, "Oh no, this should have been 9-0. It's a very bad performance from Tikka." But I mean, those are just the expectations you have. And again, you see Messi just waltzing through over there. And again, loses his man entirely. Cuts that back, finds CR7 in the box, takes the shot. Potentially could have taken that shot earlier, but showing a little bit of mercy. But Arvind just handing that ball straight back to him. It's not been his day at all. And Tikka's repeatedly trying something. I think it's just a goal that he's been trying to score for a while, just with that manual lock pass. Tried it maybe 3 or 4 times in one passage of play. And this should be the consolation for Arvind, and it's not. Donnarumma covers the far post, and there we have it. It does look like it's game over, and I wonder if that was even saved, because there's no corner given. Looks like it was just a goal kick, and the game is done.
That's got to be quite annoying for Arvind right there. Could have got at least one goal towards the end, but none it will be, as Donnarumma is like, okay, I finally got some action. I get to flex my hands and get to pull off a key save. Does exactly that, and Tikka walking away with the dominating 4-0 victory. The clean sheet as well is going to help his team, because now they go into the co-op with a guaranteed 1 point, but they don't care about that 1 point. The team, they want that 3. They want to keep pushing for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, absolutely. They will want to make a statement, of course, and of course, even in the low intensity matches, to keep winning and keep really smashing the opponents out of the park. That's what you want to do, to strike fear in the 3 teams around you for those finals as well. And they've done a pretty good job. Tikka putting on a real show for us over here with the highlights reel of all those long range shots, a lot of great skill moves, the masse roules, the elasticos, everything being pulled out in the end by Tikka over there. And yeah, he's a guy who's really grown into this tournament. He's really, really enjoying himself. I think players are almost apologetic now when they score that long range finish shot, because at some level, they're like, it's wrong. But I mean, it lets me win. So I guess I have to do it. Nothing to apologize for about this one. Just 2 360-degree turns, the little roules over there. And nothing the keeper could do to stop that. Brilliantly worked. And yeah, we're going to see the little apology coming, I'm sure, from Tikka after that third goal, the Messi goal from the right flank. Because you've seen it with so many players. Like, they just find Messi in that little pocket of space. They do that little sideways dribble, create the space, and bang, the shooting attributes are just so good. And again, Van der Sar diving like he's just like the entire D in front of him is a swimming pool, just diving forward, plunging into it. And of course, then we did see it become 4-0 very, very soon after. Very well worked again over here. This time, just that little trick move, and again smashing it across the keeper. Van der Sar not showing his early season form, being overshadowed now by the likes of Donnarumma and Casillas. But yeah, had the opportunity here. Did Arvind? It'll be interesting to see whether he actually missed it or saved.
Yeah. We've got it, Donnarumma with the save. And on that point you mentioned, I agree. I feel like Van der Sar is like, man, I've done enough. I'm done. But if I play against Ashwin, well, that's another tale altogether. I'll come back to prime time and win Van der Sar just for my best buddy Ashwin.
Yeah,
prevented in the first
definitely.
place.
Yeah, I mean, we might just see Edwin van der Sar just pop up one of these days and say, "Hey, I've made a custom addition to my card," and it's just it makes 99% saves only against Ashwin. Everybody else gets 95. That's what it is. But of course, 100% guarantee of some amazing NFTs and entertainment-based stuff is what you can find on Terra Virtua, which of course is an entertainment-based metaverse platform with a lot of fun stuff around the Hero ISL, lots of collectibles, trading cards, team mascots. So check it all out.
A chance for you to get up and close, up and personal with your favorite Hero ISL moments. It's not a chance you want to miss, most definitely. But right now, what is key is that we finished two individual games from the set in the matchup between Mumbai City FC and Jamshedpur. We go on to the co-op with one win in hand for Mumbai City FC, and therefore only 1 point to play for Jamshedpur. SC East Bengal will be hoping that Jamshedpur is able to secure that 1 point so that that threat of that number one spot it reduces much more from Mumbai City.
Yeah, it would then come to goal difference, and if we have a look at the table, goal difference is still quite superior for
Yeah.
SC East Bengal, sitting on 41 and not 29 as Mumbai City FC. Although they have got the goal difference up significantly with that Tikka win, getting it up by 4 goals. So goal difference could potentially be a factor if Mumbai City FC drop some points. But there you have it, and. It does look like we have some player shout outs for the Jamshedpur FC boys. So let's check that out.
Hello Arvind and Akash, keep fighting and keep pushing hard for the top 4 spot. जम के खेलो.
We always appreciate that extra bit of motivation that the Hero ISL players are able to give for our eISL athletes, and I think for that, of course, a big kudos. But I think at this point, that motivation is going to have to come in clutch for Jamshedpur FC because Tikka is looking like an absolute beast, and we know what happened last time. He looked like a beast in his individual. He carried that form into his co-op. Ashwin happy to be that playmaker, set Tikka up for those moves, and Tikka with the finish.
And of course, Jamshedpur FC winning the shield in the Hero ISL. So good time for them in the real world. Not quite as good in the eISL, sitting in seventh place, but potentially could move up if they can only get a draw from this game. So potentially they can go up as high as sixth over Bengaluru FC if results go their way. But yeah, they're chilled about it. I think they've had a reasonably productive season. They've got to know each other very well. I mean, these are two players who know each other very well anyway, but they've got to know a lot of the other players around them, a lot of the newcomers to the circuit, guys like Tikka, like Mufu, all those guys are like Afnan playing their first big LAN events. And I'm sure everyone's richer for the experience.
Yeah, I think, of course, like you said, everyone has benefited hugely from this experience. The eISL has been a brilliant platform for all these young athletes to make their mark and really set themselves apart. But talking about setting themselves apart, a young athlete who's done exactly that so far has been Tikka, really evolved throughout the course of this tournament and will be looking to continue his individual form into this final co-op game right here in this set. And I think it'll be interesting to see if Akash and Arvind are able to push it back, because again, in the co-op, Jamshedpur FC have been quite similar to their general form, where when they're looking good, they are extremely strong. I would say almost unbeatable in a certain level. But when they have these off days, when they're not necessarily both on the same page, it just ends up meaning that they're quite fumbly, that they're stumbly, and they end up giving the ball away in those free spots. So I want to see which version of Jamshedpur we get to see, because from Mumbai City FC, it is very much clear attack from the start, get Tikka his shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what they're going to be looking to do, immediately getting into that box and trying to nutmeg his way through Ruud over there. Easier said than done. And now, big opportunity to switch that down the flank. But you look at the recovery pace that Marquinhos gives you. And, oh my goodness, doing it with style, sliding on the line, keeping that in. Well, I think the players have very little to do with that. It's mainly the game animations doing their thing over there. But Now, with CR7, I'm sure we're going to see that finesse shot attempted, and this time Van der Sar does the job.
Okay, I got nervous for a second there. Ruben Diaz kind of fumbling in the balance aspect with the ball, but that's okay because you can see Jamshedpur FC, they're just able to slow it down, push it back now. I really do want to talk about this defensive midfield setup, Azim, because we see this from a lot of different teams. Like, for example, we see the De Bruyne Gullit setup, I believe, from Mumbai City FC, but the Gullit Kante one is what really strikes my fancy. The double defensive midfield, but I almost relying on Kante's ability to be all over the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, I think you would go with a De Bruyne or a Bellingham purely for those passing attributes, also the shooting ability that they give you, because you don't necessarily want to be getting N'Golo Kante into the box to take the shots. Doesn't have a particularly strong weak foot for taking the shots or a shooting attribute. So whereas a KDB can get you those long range finishes as well. We've seen Bellingham score from long range. Also, Jorginho has been an interesting pick by a few people as well in the middle of the park. But I'm sure once the new Prime Moments cards come in, we may just see a Zidane coming in there. A 97 rated Zidane would be a pretty decent upgrade over KDB. But well, actually remains to be seen. I think Zidane would give you a little bit more physical prowess and of course all the skill moves and the passing ability. So will be interesting to see how that evolves.
Yeah, I think that adaptation in the meta is something that's very, very important for every team, but it's something that we still are yet to see, as well as that simple mind game aspect. Do you show it now? Do you save it for later? That's the question that we're going to be looking to see if, which team is going to answer in which way. Either ways though, in this co-op right now, 0-0 on the board, 20 minutes in. Ooh. And Jamshedpur FC almost running away with the ball into the box with Messi going for that finesse, and a key deflection helps them push it through. Two key deflections, I guess. One, of course, off a player, the second off of the crossbar, and Ashwin being like, bro, when I hit the crossbar, it comes back out. When they hit the crossbar, it goes in. No fair.
Yeah, well, work for Mumbai City FC to do. Finally, a little bit of intensity brought into the game because right as it stands right now, Mumbai will not be getting the 3 points. It will just be a point each shared between the two teams. So it's going to be quite fascinating to see how Mumbai City approach this. And it's been good to see all the teams that are not in the top four really giving the top four contenders and of course Bengaluru FC a really tough ride over the last few days. We saw Bengaluru FC having their dreams shattered by Hyderabad. We saw Odisha FC making life so difficult for Chennai, and this time almost managing to get in. I think half a second earlier on that relay, and you said we would probably have been in there. But yeah, great to see that these teams have not given up the ghost. They're still keeping it interesting for us, and now almost managing to get through. KDB sat up very nicely for the volley and deflected this time for a corner for Mumbai City.
Ashwin did tell us that there's no special set pieces that they've necessarily set up, but I wonder if Tekka is able to just pull one out on the fly. Oh, never mind. Oh, no. I guess that's the special set piece. Just give the ball away.
Yeah, I mean, that would be maybe that's, as I said, 4D chess. Give them a set piece in a place where they can't really get out easily and then get the ball back yourself. When they least expected with the defense not set, and well, clearly it didn't work out for them this time. Space on the left flank if they choose to use it, and there it is. It is Mbappe trying to create space, and Jamshedpur FC will be looking to capitalize now, really double down on this lead, get that second goal and get themselves a little bit of comfort, a little bit of breathing space. And we do see now Hakimi getting involved with that right flank, getting forward, still keeping Cancelo back over there, and now the finesse shot this time. Ooh, CR7, the weaker foot, the 4-star weak foot, not quite coming through over there.
Yeah, and the weak foot, I think it's something that has been the plague of many players in some ways where they just don't take the shot because of situations like that, which they anticipate is not going to go in. Or sometimes, of course, that RNG factor coming into play, irrespective of how it's timed, they do not get the goal itself. And I think at this point, as you said, the intense feeling for Mumbai City FC is going to be the fact that for them, they need to get at least one goal, Azim. Even a draw in this co-op will result in the win for them in the set overall, because they've got one individual win throughout. So they're not necessarily chasing a massive lead. They don't have to get 2 goals. They just need to find at least a draw right here. So it is a little easier, but I'm glad that they're at least being tested, because this is something we discussed even in the early stages, that with having qualified so early, and with them not necessarily feeling as stressed about that number 1 slot, they're just going to have to end up relying on small moments like these to find challenges. And challenges, it is being created by Jamshedpur, but an iffy touch gave the ball away for a second. But okay, can't they be like, I shouldn't have got that ball back, so I'm going to give it to you.
Well, and they shouldn't have got that back, so they're giving it back again. And now will we see another shot? This seems like the match of the long range finesse shots, because we've seen so many. We've seen 3 of those fly in today. And also for Mumbai City FC, very important to win this game to keep Ashwin's hopes of facing FC Goa alive, because as things stand, if they don't manage to get the results that they need, they could be going up against Chennai FC, which I mean, without any disrespect to FC Goa, I would probably have to say that is the much tougher fixture.
Yeah, and at this point, of course, you can see very well done how that initial goal set up by Jamshedpur FC. Like we talked about, right? They've really had a lot of ability to find the synchronization, find those key moments. It looks like it was Akash who set up that goal itself. I am curious exactly who it was, but a bit of luck in that shot. So they're going to have to get another to be able to get the safety cushion and get that second goal. So at this point, I think that's what they need to hunt for. That early goal that really matters in the second half, Asim. I feel like we've seen so many comebacks pulled off if the losing team gets that early goal, especially by Mumbai City FC. So if they're able to flip the table and instead have Jamshedpur FC get that early goal before the 68th minute mark, get that 2-0 lead, I think it will most likely be lights out for Mumbai City FC.
Yeah, they're really going to have to bring their A game if that happens. For now, they can still just try to stumble over the line and get that one goal. And you always do feel that Mumbai City FC have a goal in them. I do wonder how ambitious Jamshedpur will be. Will they just decide to just keep passing that ball around and keep it just a game management, shall we say, damage limitation, just try to see the result out? Or will they show the ambition to keep attacking? Of course, for them, 5th place is potentially still on. If they, well, no, it's actually still only 6th place, because they can only get the 1 point, and just running out of real estate over there. And Ashwin having a mass inquisition into the defense along with Tikka, saying, what is going on? What are we doing? And now getting forward, not too many passes available for Cancelo, and the options reducing even further. But will it fall to Mbappe? No, it will not. And not quite happening for Mumbai City so far, you would have to say, in the co-op game. They've not really created much. I don't really remember the Jamshedpur FC keeper having to make any particularly meaningful saves. So it's all been quite easy for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's been quite simple so far for Jamshedpur. It's quite surprising that is the case when we see Mumbai City FC in the co-op, because we're expecting them to be a lot more prolific, a lot more forward. But hey, a pause called through. We will see if Mumbai City FC are actually able to make the changes. You've seen Tikka ingesting him some Coca-Cola as well. He's bound to get some key energy off of that. So now we'll see if Mumbai City FC is able to bounce back, or some tactical changes potentially from Jamshedpur as they look to hold on. Because again, for them, it's very simple right here. It's all about just having a good time. And well, winning is always a good time. So you don't really want to drop matches very easily. You want to be content even if you're losing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's exactly what they'll be looking to do over here. A couple of changes made. We see Messi on for Mbappe. So might be seeing a few long-range shots from Mumbai City FC as well. Although they would, they'll appreciate the fact that Jamshedpur are just throwing the ball back to them. So interesting to see what further changes are made. We could see potentially a Neymar being brought on, maybe a Vinicius Junior, to really try to exploit that pace down the flanks, really give Jamshedpur FC something to think about, because Jamshedpur are actually playing a very smart game. They're not getting the fullbacks forward. They're always making sure they're keeping those 4 defenders back at all times to contend with whatever Mumbai City have to throw at them. And it is going to come down to either a mistake or a little bit of individual skill, or potentially that one long range shot And now with KDB, will we see that shot taken? Not at the moment. It did open up quite nicely, and KDB, we have seen those shots fly in with his left foot as well. Now with Hullet, will he go charging through? Getting into the box, the ball will fall briefly to CR7 and Mumbai City FC. But no, it's Jamshedpur again. And this is looking promising on the counter-attack.
And counter-attack is where they look to find that safety cushion. Because still, Azim, it's 1-0 on the board right now. Just that early goal, that deflection set up through the crossbar by Messi is what is separating both of these teams. And all Mumbai City FC need, remember, to secure 3 points is one single goal. They can just make that happen. It'll be a huge deal for them. But if Jamshedpur are able to hold on, it'll give them a lot of motivation, a lot of hope, and a lot of drive in their fight for the top 5. A bit of a scuffle right there. I thought it might be a foul, but Jamshedpur will get away with it, get the ball back to themselves as well, and now look to set up that Messi-Ronaldo combo. But instead, it's going to be Mumbai City FC on the counter.
Opportunities definitely for Mumbai City FC to find it, but I mean, they've not really made the right decisions, you would have to say, when they've got into that final third. But now this time, ball is with Eusebio. Big shooting opportunity, could have actually taken. Didn't quite work.
Yeah, like you said, just bit of iffy decision making from Mumbai City FC, maybe a bit of hesitation. It's just quite unlike what we usually see. But hold on for a second now. Again, they're able to get into the box itself, but not able to release the shot. So I also have to applaud Jamshedpur FC at the same time for their ability to continuously just hold on, like in that final third, pull off the right tackle when they need to. But Marquinhos running down the left wing, that's not what we expect. And well, that's what happens. Well, he doesn't have pace, he doesn't have crossing ability. I'll tell you what he does have though, I think a lot of throw power. So let's see if he can get maybe a long throw into the box now.
He'll get one better. I think he might just get a corner over there. And yeah, it does look... Is that a corner? Yeah, we can't really see because the player cams are covering it up. But yeah, considering how the cameraman is very focusedly looking at the corner flag, it does look like it's a corner. And now with Cancelo at the edge of the area, will that ball come into the box? It does, back post. But Ruben Diaz not able to win that header over there. The ball will still keep coming back for Mumbai City FC. And can they find now something that they've got Messi in the box, not really the player you want to attack a header over there. They've got Hullet waiting, very, very optimistic attempt at a long range finish over there, and the timing also completely wrong. And will that fall to Jamshedpur? No, it is Mumbai still. And now CR7 on that left flank could have used him, decides to go central, and now they're trying to just see this out and get themselves that final attack. Because Jamshedpur FC, if they hit them on the counter, then it's pretty much over. So this is it. This is a big challenge for Mumbai City FC. Can they get that goal back? Not from this attack, they can't. And now Jamshedpur, will they show the ambition to go for that goal? The first time ball is what is needed in behind. CR7, will he keep that in? No, it will go back to Mumbai City for potentially the last attack.
87 minutes in, and all it's separating these teams still is just that one goal. But might have been two if that pass went through for R9. Instead, it is going to be MCFC on the counter, potentially their last chance right here, Azim, to get that win, to get those 3 points, and to keep the hunt for their top 1 fight right here. De Bruyne on the edge of the box has the opportunity for a shot if he turned around, but instead with the pass setting up Eusebio, but just not enough space found. We talked about that Kante card being all over the pitch, finding his value and utility, and finding Jamshedpur that co-op win, meaning Mumbai City FC drop 2 key points and therefore lose the ability now to be able to themselves dictate whether they get that number 1 slot. But it's Jamshedpur that we really need to talk about. Very well done in this co-op. It was just very low goal scoring affair, but very well done on that defensive half by Jamshedpur FC to keep denying Mumbai City FC again and again. Just almost like bring their confidence down a little less than what we normally expect it to be.
Yeah, great spirit shown there by Jamshedpur FC, particularly after the loss for Arvind, after that absolute smashing at the hands of Tikka, to then finally get his composure back. And well, there you go, enjoying it and giving Tikka a taste of his own medicine as well with that long range shot. There weren't any great pointers either way. I think both the teams were fairly evenly matched, but I think Jamshedpur FC on defense were just very solid, did not allow Mumbai City anything. It would be interesting to have a look at the stats as well and see how many shots actually Mumbai City actually mustered on goal. It won't be more than 2 or 3 as far as I can tell. But yeah, good result in the end for Jamshedpur FC to get that 1 point, and season is not just fizzling out, and they're still making life difficult for the boys at the top.
Yeah, draw right here in our first matchup. I wonder what the rest of the day has for us. You can see it was quite a low one with that EXG itself, but I believe we have a chat right now set up, so let's head on over there real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have an interview in just a little bit, but we do see that the shot accuracy is what was the problem really for Mumbai City FC. 4 shots taken, only the 1 on target. Didn't really work out for them. So they'll be disappointed with that. Of course, the first place is still very possible. It was a draw between Ashwin and Akash. Hard-fought game over there. Tikka absolutely demolishing Arvind Mas in that second game, but Jamshedpur FC having the last laugh, getting that 1-0 victory, scraping through in the end to deny Mumbai City FC all the 3 points. That I'm sure will serve as a wake-up call for them as well. With a couple of games to go, they'll know that they can't just walk into a game and get a victory. There's going to be definitely work to do, particularly in the co-op for these boys, because Jamshedpur FC, as we've mentioned throughout the tournament, one of the better, the more instinctive co-op units. 2 players who have very similar play styles, so they've always managed to have that kind of telepathic connection. But let's find out now who the hero of the match is. I think there can only really be one. And yeah, there you go. Karman Tikka, he's the main man again. 4 goals scored, and huge performance from him.
Yeah, definitely. Tikka playing phenomenally to even ensure that that 1 point is gained, because if it did end up being a draw or even a loss for Tikka, it would have been Jamshedpur FC picking up the match. So I think a deserving hero of the match, and some phenomenal goals throughout that match to set himself up for this reward. And the first one, that was one of the most beautiful ones. But again, like you said, we saw a taste of his own medicine given to him as well. So I think I 100% agree with that point. I think it's also kind of good for Mumbai City FC, that simple fact that now they're going to have to just remember that, these matches might be low intensity, but we can't really take them easily, because then it will affect our playoffs performance.
Yeah, and I mean, FIFA is one of those games where if you try to be a little cautious, take it a little too easy, it just doesn't quite work. You have to be full on for the entire duration, and just like Tikka was for this game, just unrelenting, getting those early goals, and then of course putting together a couple of really nice goals in that second half as well, particularly this one, finding Ronaldo in there, getting past Ruben Dias, smashing it across the keeper. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. So big day for Tikka, you would have to say, and yeah, good job, well done. And of course, let's find out now the Terra Virtua super moment of the match. A lot of super moments to pick from, but I would think it was this one, the free kick, and very good individual goal.
The Gullit one, I assume, yeah, there we go. It was really nice to see that, Tikka is still going for those moves. Usually every single pro player, even in the FIFA finish that we have from B. Sharma, I believe, we saw him preferring to just set up that pass in, but instead here you could see from Tikka a really nice set piece and a really nice move from Gullit as well to get that goal. The move into the box, just perfectly done, just a free flow of skills, and that's where I think Tikka's strength really lies, and I'm curious to see how teams are able to shut it down. But for now, talking about teams, let's have a look at where every single one is situated on the leaderboard.
Yes, and Mumbai City FC now a game in hand over SC's Bengal. So actually, it does look like they will not be able to catch up. Yeah, it's not in their hands anymore. It's irrespective of goal difference. So they'll be very disappointed about that, having dropped those 2 points, and could well be consigned now to facing Chennai and FC, unless FC Goa manage to get the win and Chennai and FC lose. And that order is shaken up a little bit, or potentially if SC East Bengal lose, but loss isn't something that Ankit and Shayan can do. And for Jamshedpur FC, sitting there in 7th place, pretty much comfortable. They do need to, of course, win their last match to get 6th place. And we do have Akash now from Jamshedpur FC waiting to have a chat with us. Let's head on over. Akash, congrats, a good comeback from y'all, and I think a great character after that big defeat for Arvind. So, how are you guys feeling? How's the mood for y'all?
I mean, it's pretty much the same, you know. Like we come here, we wanna express ourselves. Even though we don't have the chances to qualify, we show nothing less. We wanna give 100% like every game.
That's really cool. That, like you said, you still want to give that 100%. I think can appreciate that for sure. But I want to ask about the co-op game. It was very, very close. So how are you feeling, and how is the feeling even after that Messi goal went in? What was the vibe throughout that co-op game for you guys?
I mean, I knew that it's gonna go in like moment I green timed it. Like I know, like I was in the perfect position to take a fitness, and yeah, like pretty much after that, I was telling Arvind to like just control the game. Like I don't care even if they have the ball, we just need to control the game and no need to do anything stupid.
Yeah, so we've seen actually all the teams who sadly did not qualify for the top four. Now you guys are making the life of the top four very difficult in all these games. We saw Odisha FC yesterday, we saw you guys today. So is this some plan that you guys have made that we have to go up and defeat all the top teams now?
I mean, nothing much. That just says the quality of the league. On a given day,
Yeah.
anyone can beat anyone, and I think the people at least for me, the people wouldn't qualify. At least for me, I have that desperation of motivation to I knew I belong to the top four. I have what it takes to be top four. I just want to show everyone we are nothing less than them.
Well, congratulations on the co-op win and getting that 1 point. We'll be excited to see you in the next matchup coming up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Well, Azim, I really appreciate that mentality. Like he said, at the end of the day, the league is intensely close, irrespective of what the standings say. Every single player has that talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of talents, the people at Terra Virtua are very talented at making NFTs, match moments, all the fun stuff from the Hero eISL. So check it all out right now.
Well, a chance for you to grab yourself some key Hero ISL moments and really have them in your pocket, to remember those lovely times that went by in those matches. But I think, of course, this is the end of match 1 for us. So we have to give a big thank you to the reason all of this can happen. That close league stage that we saw Akash talk about even exists. So, of course, big shout out to the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nodwin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. And with that, Azim, it is the end of match 1 of today, but we've got plenty more action to go, and given the way match 1 went, it could go either way, so make sure you guys don't miss a single second of it, because we're going to be back in a jiff.